Define Your Lines started in March of 2015. The purpose behind it was to unblur the lines of sexual communication. This campaign was created by students for students and has a two-part fold. The first part is an online presence, whether it's utilizing Facebook, Twitter, or their online website. Students can not only interact with the campaign, but learn more about where to find out things about sexual consent, what is sexual consent, and stories in the media dealing with sexual consent, sexual violence, things like that. The second part of the campaign is students going out and speaking to students face to face. Students went into classrooms in the College of Media and Communication and gave talks to promote the campaign and how other students could interact with it. The second part was tabling events. These tabling events would occur at the Student Union building in the free speech area or at other events around campus. For instance, the Rec, when they had Women's Only Night, there would be a group of females from Define Your Line going there to promote it. They also had booths at Arbor Day and other such events. This campaign is considered a two-way, symmetrical type of communication campaign. The campaign is designed for students to be able to ask questions and get answered. 505 Texas Tech students were anonymously surveyed for this campaign. The types of things they were surveyed over were rape myth, sexual consent, regretting an encounter, reporting on having casual sex, and defining what sex actually was. For example, when talking about if a student regretted having sex, there was actually found 40% said they have regretted a sexual encounter while in college. The campaign also, in its in-person and online presence, gave students a chance to anonymously ask questions and get answers. While at tabling events, there were postcards that students could either ask a question on, put it in a box, no one would know, or they were able to answer a question that had been asked before. The same worked for online. Students could go online and submit a question, and then other students could go online and answer about how they feel. This gave students the feeling that they were not alone in maybe some confusion about what something meant, or just realizing they're not the only person who has this question. The campaign did not just rely on students talking to other students. The campaign had promotional materials such as shirts that the students would wear at campaign events that say, "Have better sex, define your line." This wasn't promoting sex or promoting abstinence. It was promoting students to find their line and feeling comfortable about communicating that line to a partner. There was also water bottles given out, pens, koozies, cups, and sunglasses even for students to be able to get and wear or simply just see it as a reminder. The campaign on the social media side uses different types of posts to interact with the students. For one example, it could be a video about a comedian kind of joking about these rape myths, but it makes you think that, hey, why is society thinking this way? While in another post, it could be a story from a survivor of sexual assault, so students who have been through a similar situation can know they're not alone in that situation. Since Define Your Lines started at Texas Tech and currently is the only school that has the campaign, there really wasn't much interference. In the beginning, the It's On Us campaign that was led by the Texas Tech Student Government Association could have been confused as the same campaign since they're both dealing with sexual communication. Though they kind of worked together, though they weren't the same campaign. Define Your Line has actually partnered with the RISE office in helping students who may have gone through an event such as sexual assault or rape, help them connect to the RISE office, which can give them more resources. While the campaign was not designed around any theories, by evaluating the social media aspects of the campaign as I'm doing now, during my preliminary findings, two theories stuck out to me in relation to how students were interacting with the social media posts. The first one was spiral of silence. Now, There's no direct link between this theory and the social media post, but it was a theory that came to mind while evaluating. The other theory that came to mind was the elaboration likelihood model. Once again, there's no direct cause and effect, but I do believe that these theories could help explaining some of the ways that the students are reacting to the social media post. While the campaign did not report any unintended effects, from personal experience of being part of the campaign, some of my friends did not fully understand in the beginning what the campaign was about. By me wearing my shirt to tabling events that say have better sex, define your line, they thought I was promoting that students should have sex. And instead, it was a conversation starter. That's all the shirt was supposed to represent. The campaign, once again, is about unblurring the lines of sexual communication, not promoting sex or not promoting sex. It's the communication aspect between two people. I love this campaign. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten involved in the spring of 2016. One thing that makes me love this campaign is it's showing students that they are not alone. They're not the only ones who have questions about sexual consent or what rape is. It also gives students resources that if they have been in a situation where they've been sexually assaulted or raped, there's resources for them to use. A recommendation I would say for this campaign would be getting involved in college students' life earlier, whether it's expanding the campaign to part of the health education in high school or expanding it to where there's booths at Red Raider orientation so students know coming into college there are resources available to them.